Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Car Stories. Today, we take you on a journey back in time to explore one of the most iconic vehicles in automotive history. This car, 1967. The American road was changing. Muscle cars were roaring onto the scene, and the family sedan was beginning to flex its own kind of power. In the midst of this shift, Ford released something that balanced both style and strength. Something that today still captures the hearts of classic car lovers. That car was the 1967 Ford Fairlane. The Ford Fairlane name had already been around for over a decade by then, but the 67 model marked a unique turning point. This was a car that represented the middle ground between Ford's more modest offerings and its growing performance lineup. It wasn't just a family car anymore. It was a statement. From the outside, the 1967 Fairlane carried a clean, sharp design. Ford had taken cues from the Thunderbird, giving the Fairlane a wide, aggressive front grille that hinted at the power beneath. Dual headlights framed the grille, and the long, flat hood gave it a classic muscle car profile. Even though many versions were still built with everyday driving in mind, buyers had several body styles to choose from: two-door coupes, four-door sedans, convertibles, and station wagons. But it was the sleek two-door hardtop that turned heads. The proportions were just right, not too big, not too small, and balanced in a way that still looks elegant more than 50 years later. Under the hood, the Fairlane offered a range of engines, from economical straight sixes to potent V8s. The base models came with a 200 cubic inch six-cylinder, but enthusiasts often went for something with a bit more rumble, like the 289 or even the 390 cubic inch V8. For those who wanted serious performance, the GT and GTA trims delivered. The Fairlane GT was Ford's answer to the growing muscle car craze. It came standard with the 390 V8 engine producing 335 horsepower. The GTA, a special version of the GT, featured Ford's Cruise-O-Matic automatic transmission. These were the kinds of cars that you could take to the drag strip on Saturday night and drive to church on Sunday morning. Inside, the 1967 Fairlane offered comfort and simplicity. The dashboard was clean and functional, with round gauges and a symmetrical layout. Bench seats were standard, but bucket seats with a center console were available in higher trims, especially in the GT models. Materials were durable, built for everyday use, but with touches of chrome and wood grain that hinted at style. Safety was beginning to take center stage in the late 1960s, and the Fairlane reflected that. Ford included dual master cylinder brakes as standard, along with a padded dashboard and optional front seat belts. It was a sign of the times, performance and safety starting to meet halfway. The 1967 model year also brought slight changes from the previous year. The body was slightly longer, and the suspension had been tuned for better handling. The ride was smoother, and the road feel was more responsive. These weren't radical upgrades, but they made the car feel more refined. One of the most admired versions of the 1967 Fairlane was the Fairlane 500XL. It was positioned as a premium model, offering extra trim, better interior appointments, and a touch more luxury, without losing the Fairlane's signature performance edge. It was a car for someone who wanted both muscle and manners. Interestingly, the Fairlane's name comes from Henry Ford's estate, Fairlane, in Dearborn, Michigan. That legacy carried weight in the 1960s. Driving a Fairlane wasn't just about getting from point A to point B. It was about being part of an American tradition of innovation and style. Production numbers for the 1967 Fairlane were solid, with hundreds of thousands of units sold across its various trims. It was popular not only with families, but also with young drivers looking for an affordable way into the performance scene. It was a versatile car that found its way into all walks of American life. Today, the 1967 Fairlane holds a special place in classic car circles. It may not always get the spotlight like the Mustang or the Chevelle, but among those who know, the Fairlane is deeply respected. It's a symbol of balance, between power and poise, between practicality and passion. Restoring a 67 Fairlane today is often a labor of love. Parts are still out there, and the mechanical systems are relatively straightforward. But more than that, it's the emotional connection that drives restorers. Bringing one back to life is like reviving a piece of American automotive history. On the road, the Fairlane still carries itself with grace. There's a certain rhythm in the way it glides down the street. Its V8 growl a reminder of an era when cars were built with both steel and soul. It draws smiles, waves, and stories. Everyone seems to know someone who had wondered whether it was a father's first new car, a teenager's high school ride, or the family's trusted wagon for Sunday trips. The Fairlane left a mark. It lived in driveways, on drag strips, and in memories. And even now, it hasn't faded into the background. So, as we look back at this car 1967 United States Ford Fairlane, we're not just admiring a car. We're remembering a time when American roads were filled with the sound of roaring engines, chrome bumpers, and dreams made of metal. The Fairlane was part of that heartbeat, and it still echoes today. Thanks for joining us on this ride through history. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more journeys through the golden age of automobiles. Until next time, keep the wheels turning and the memories alive.